Thank you so much for joining us for this masterclass. We are so excited to have you with us. My name is Liz Oshwald, and this is Tiffany Ryman. We are going to be your hosts, and we are so excited to serve you. We are really passionate about chatbots, and for very good reason. As network marketing leaders, we have seen huge transformation in our personal businesses, in our downlines businesses, all because of chatbot integration. And so what we're going to tell you in the next 45 to 60 minutes is why you would want a chatbot for your team, how to create a chatbot onboarding system, how to onboard your team, and the exact steps that we took to launch one for ourselves and for our downlines. And if you stay with us until the very end, we're also going to give you an invitation on how you could take a shortcut if you would want to work with us, link arms with us, and we can give you a faster track to building your very own onboarding chatbot for yourself and for your team. And so we're going to tell you just a little bit about us, and then we're going to get started.
So we had to find a solution for onboarding. Whenever we first got started in our company, we were actually in 9 months of pre-launch. So our company had been in a different industry setting, and we were bringing our company into the social selling marketplace. And so we had all of these months, like 9 months worth of pre-launch, where we were building a team. Now, Liz and I had experience prior to bringing this company into fruition. And so we knew what it was like as leaders to grow from absolutely zero into an intermediate leader whenever you've got 25, 30 people between your front line and your downline, a growing team, right? So when we transitioned and we were going to be onboarding 1,000 people at one time, we knew that we needed a solution for onboarding. Unfortunately, at that time, we did not have that system in place. We had the Facebook group, we had the Facebook guides, we had link trees, we had milkshakes, we had all of these areas that we could point people to for training, but nothing was systematized. And so you can only imagine whenever you're onboarding 1,000 people at one time, how difficult that actually really was. And so we knew that we had to create a solution to create synergy, to have fun with one another again, and not have like a ton of people doing different things all at one time. So we knew that we were desperate for a solution.
Yes, those were crazy times indeed. And so from that place of our own pain, we became really passionate about helping our team and then also just helping network marketing leaders in gems that will fuel their team growth and give them back their time. Because what we found was that we didn't have the capacity to do the things that we really longed to do. We didn't have the capacity to build deep relationships with our team. We didn't have the capacity to really spend time with our families because we were constantly, it felt like herding cats, answering questions on repeat, doing all of these manual things and experiencing the pain of burnout. So let's talk about who is this masterclass for? Maybe you haven't experienced exactly what we just described. Maybe you are just starting out. Maybe you are that emerging leader. Maybe you are a top leader and you have a downline of 1,000 plus people. But if you are a network marketing leader in any capacity who's wanting to grow your team and your income without sacrificing more time, this masterclass is for you. No matter what stage of leadership you're in, if you're an emerging leader, if you're an established leader, if you're just struggling to grow because you feel like your attention is divided in too many directions, if you feel like the systems and tools you have worked hard to create are not working anymore, maybe you feel like they're outdated, maybe you want to innovate, but you're not sure how. If you want the time freedom that automation could bring, but you're afraid that the automation will feel cold and heartless to your downline and you really want to give a warm and connected experience to your team, so that's held you back, this is for you too. And if you're just wondering if your launch strategy in general could use an upgrade, stick around. We are here to serve you. And this is our promise to you. In the next 60 minutes or less, you will learn a step-by-step strategy to get your team off the bench and into momentum in 3 days or less without having to learn difficult technology, without having to throw away all the tools and systems that you've worked so hard to create. We know you've already created things, and that if people were using them, they would work, right? But they're probably sitting and not being used. And without having to train your team on how to use a complicated system, because we know this, if you are deploying anything new to your team, it's not just a baton toss. There has to be some kind of launch strategy to introduce a new tool. We're promising you that this system with a chatbot onboarding system is not complicated. It's actually really easy, and it's going to be an amazing and fun reveal. So let's talk a little bit about the network marketing industry and what we have learned, Tiff.
So we know this as leaders. We know that in network marketing that success is simple, but simple does not always mean easy. And we're going to talk about why. So as a network marketing leader, do you ever feel like you're spinning a bunch of plates? We know that whenever you are bringing in new people, you're having to onboard them. We know that you're still having to also create your own new business. So you've got leads that are in the pipeline. You're having to follow up and nurture the people that you're already in conversation with. You're needing to sell while you're nurturing the people that are in your pipeline. You need to be able to recruit. You need to, again, successfully onboard the people that have just said yes to you. And then you have to duplicate this. And as you know, nobody's doing this at the same time. This is a business where you're serving one to many all at the same exact time. So somebody could be in, their first 5 days, their first 60 days, their 6 months, they're relaunching, and you're having to nurture all of these people. And one of the things that we found as we were doing this, with tons and tons of chats blowing us up and all of the messages and the phone calls and the onboarding calls and the welcome calls, literally we started asking ourselves, what about the dream of time freedom? I was sold time freedom, and I feel like I can't get my head above water. And so, Liz, I would love to just talk about those things just a little bit deeper so that we can just remind everybody what we said yes to and the actual cost and the pain of what it actually might look like.
Yeah, we were definitely sold the dream of time freedom when I heard about this magical concept called residual income and the ability to have a paycheck grow while I'm spending time with my kids. As a homeschool mom who really values family, who really values the ability to travel, experience the world, have a phone down, and spend time, quality time with my family, with my husband, with my children, I couldn't think of anything better than something like this where I could use leverage. And so in this industry, people talk about leverage all the time. You can leverage a team, you can leverage systems, you can leverage, all these things. And so it's not all dependent on you. And it sounds amazing. It sounds like, and then when you're in a season of momentum and your paycheck is growing and your team is growing and you're starting to experience the fruit of this dream, it feels like it's becoming a reality. The most painful part for us, there were two things. One, the dream was happening, but my time was not free. Your time was not free. We were on our phones all the time. So the first pain point was we were sold this dream of time freedom. The success is happening, but my family is paying a great price because they're not getting my time. My kids are not getting my eyes. I'm constantly distracted by this business that is supposed to be giving us freedom, but it feels more like shack in a lot of ways. And then the second pain point is, as top leaders, we were experiencing the dream. Everyone's working hard. Our paychecks are growing. We're starting to experience a small measure of, full dream. But if your team isn't winning with you, and if the system isn't created to truly provide that duplication, then you have guilt. You feel like you're failing your team if their success is not climbing the way yours is. And so there's this great feeling of responsibility to provide your team, even if they may not have the skills or the influence or the audience that you have, you want to make sure that every single person to you has the same chance of success that you did because they're given the path to run on. And that's where we were losing sleep at night, truly. We were feeling this great integrity crisis that our team doesn't feel like they're able to do what we've done. And we wanted to make that possible. We wanted to be able to say, our team can run just as hard, just as fast. We want to create, the path that makes it possible for anyone who joins us to succeed, not just the people who join us directly, but if it's someone 5 levels down, 10 levels down, 100 levels down someday, they will have access to the same system and everyone's going to want to use what we've built. And so, is there anything you would want to add to that, Tiffany?
No, it's exactly my sentiments.
Okay, awesome. All right, I'm going to go back to sharing the screen. And we just want to tell you guys, our goal is really simple. We want to give you your time back without sacrificing your success or the growth of your team. And that is our complete goal and passion behind building these chatbot onboarding systems, is to give you your time back to help you achieve success and to help your team achieve the same success that you can achieve. So you might be asking yourself, okay, that sounds great, Liz. But what about all those spinning plates? How is one system going to solve all these problems? How can a chatbot solve all these problems? Well, we truly believe that the most critical, if you want to think of it in terms of like a domino, that if you impact this one thing, it can truly impact and make a difference in every other area. It is the onboarding system. It is the onboarding system. And here's why. Statistics. Especially Tiffany, is a data nerd, okay? We do all the research. We sit under mentors and coaching ourselves. We know this industry like the back of our hands. And this is what statistics show about our industry. If a new recruit does not take action in their first 48 hours, they most likely never will. The statistics are staggering. The last time we checked, it was over 80%. If someone doesn't take action in their first 48 hours, they most likely never will. So imagine the pain of you're selling, you're recruiting, you're bringing people in. They get to this point of enrollment with you, but then they don't ever launch. They don't ever onboard properly. And so inevitably, there's this leak. It's like a leak in the bottom of a boat. You're bringing people in, but they're not finding success. And so eventually they quit. They just become dormant. Maybe they don't, quit technically, but their action shows that they've quit. Their silence shows that they've quit. Their inactivity shows that they've quit. And so in our industry, it says that there's a third of people coming in, third people staying, third going out. We wanted to change that statistic for our team. We wanted there to be true retention, because without retention, there's never any duplication or momentum created. You're stagnant. And so why do so many people fall through the cracks in the first 48 hours? We believe it's because there's not a clear path most of the time. They're confused. They're overwhelmed. They don't know where to find all the things they need to succeed. They're told, check the Facebook group, check your email, go to the link tree, watch this video, watch this training, download the app, log into the back office. There's a portal. And it's all just so much. And so we know the confused mind does nothing. When someone feels overwhelmed, they are paralyzed, and then that leads to inaction. And then they start, the question everyone thinks, and the question everyone faces when they're starting a new business or a new anything is, can I do this? Do I have what it takes? And as soon as they start to feel shaky and they haven't had that great onboarding experience, the voice of, you can't do this, it's not going to work for you, becomes even louder. And so it truly is up to us as leaders to develop the path for them to run on. It is our responsibility to give them what they need to succeed and to do it in a way that they're actually going to be able to digest it. Many of you have probably created amazing tools and resources for your team that aren't being used because your delivery system is off. And so let's talk about, Tiffany, what are the things that we know someone needs to experience in their onboarding? We've narrowed it down to just 5 things. Obviously, there could be 100 different things, but in our research and in our, as we've developed as network marketing professionals, sat under lots of coaches and mentors, we've narrowed it down to just 5 things that someone needs within those first few days so that they can truly have a successful launch. So let's talk about that.
Okay, perfect. So truly, Liz, like everything that you're talking about with the onboarding being so critical, I want to touch on this one point very, very, very quickly. When we are simply plugging people into the things that are most important, these top 5 things, especially whenever they're done in a way of automation, not only is it going to give the new person the empowerment that you're speaking of, but it also keeps you out of a place of like having an integrity crisis when things don't actually go perfect. And we're going to talk about this a little bit more on the back end whenever you can really get into the nitty gritty if somebody's going to take action or if they're not, and how not everything is your fault as the leader. And so I just wanted to touch on that right before we started this so that everybody could have it in top of mind that you can plug them into the things, but it's up to the person that says yes to you to do the work. Just a reminder. So what are these top 5 things that we need in order for somebody to be successful, launch strong? We know that we need to plug them into resources and that they have to be plugged into their tools to launch their business. That's number 1. Number 2, we need to help them be able to set their goals. It's got to be clear, it's got to be clean, and it's got to be digestible. Number 3, we need to be able to teach them very quickly without fire hosing them business foundations. What are these basics? Okay. Things like building your list, inviting people into your opportunity or your products or your services. You need to be able to follow up and nurture the people that you're inviting into this thing with you, right? And then you need to be able to enroll them. These are the only things that they need to begin to know in their first 48 hours of launching their business. We've got to get them into action. And then we need to be able to help them launch with some type of social media post. They've got to get this out into the world. And number 5, they've got to know how to launch. What is that going to look like and where is that going to be? Is it going to be on social? Is it going to be in person? These things are critical, and they're the most important things that we need to focus on in the first 48 hours. And so, Liz, what do you feel like? What do you feel like it's like whenever we don't have all of these things in order, or maybe we do, but we're doing them manually on repeat, person after person, and even multiple people all at one time?
A slow and painful death. It feels it feels like burnout. It feels like frustration. Like we've shared with you, we created all these things. We are action takers, and many of you that are watching this are too. And so we created all of these tools, link trees, email campaigns, text campaigns. We were using Project Broadcast and Flowdesk and ClickFunnels and all of these. We had a membership portal. We had all of these different things, and people somehow were not finding the things. And so we would be getting these questions all the time. Where do I find graphics? What should I post? And all of these things created that would answer those questions if the people could find what we created. And it could have been laid out so simply in a Facebook group in our guides, actually, which we had. Step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. But somehow that was still too hard. And so we thought we had a system, but the system was clearly broken because people weren't using it and they were coming to us. Maybe they were going to some other leaders too, and then those leaders were coming to us. But like we explained, we had this really massive team from day one, and it just felt very much like like drowning. Like we had, or like there was this boat that had a leak and we were all slowly going under. And so we really wanted to create something that would allow for synergy, that would allow for duplication, that would make our team feel like there was unity again.
Mhm.
And so we went to work. We went to work to create a solution for ourselves, for our team, especially for our families. We wanted our kids to stop resenting us. We wanted our husbands to stop resenting us. We wanted this business we were building to feel life-giving and not draining. And so it's hard to see this slide, I know, but this shows just a tiny glimpse of the pre-work of what went into building our chatbot system. We first mapped out all of the conversation flows in like a mind map type of thing. And then we transferred them into our software, which is called MiniChat. And it took us, the last time we tried to tally up the possible number of hours, I know it was well over 300. And we were staying up late. We were getting up early. This is just a few of the pictures of us in the trenches doing whatever it took to build the system so that we could have our time back with our families, so that our teams could be well equipped, and so that we could actually experience this dream of time freedom that still at that point felt like a lie. And so I think we should pause here for just a little bit and talk about why we were so committed to creating the solution and what we were experiencing here, because this is where many of you are living right now. And if you haven't experienced the pain of this burnout or frustration yet, maybe you're just getting started. Maybe your team is in momentum and you're growing and you're experiencing all the fun parts of, what looks like it's getting ready to be the dream. We're so glad you're here right now because we would love to prevent you from ever experiencing what we did. But the reason we were willing to stay up, that, one of those pictures on that last slide was a screenshot. It was 1:30 in the morning. My baby, I had just nursed her. You can see the boppy pillow in that picture. She's passed out at my feet. I'm still working, laptop open at 1:30 in the morning. And the reason I was willing to pay that price, the reason Tiffany was willing to pay that price was because we were so desperate. And Tiff, do you want to talk just a little bit about what that was like for you? Why we were willing to create this automated system, which we're getting ready to share more about in just a second.
Yeah. What I go back to is 7 years ago, whenever I started in this industry, I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew that I was stupid hungry and somehow I was making money and it was stacking up in this random holding tank. And whenever I realized that this was actually like a legit business industry, I wanted to know how to run. And I wanted a mentor to teach me how to run. And I had to go up, 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 up to try to find that mentor. And then I'm like, please give me the manual so that I can run. And in my first year of that business, I literally was told, tell your family you'll see them in a year. You'll talk to them in a year. That's all it's going to take. And then you're going to have the freedom. But let's circle back to exactly what we've been talking about. When you scale and when you grow, you get a bigger baby and it's messier and it's more complicated. And you're like, this is a lie. Time freedom is a total lie. And the consequence of that was, like you mentioned, like the baby's having tears. Mom, please don't go to that meeting. Mom, do you want to watch a movie with me? One more. Busy. That is exhausting and it begins to wear on your soul. So no matter how much money you're making, how much freedom you have, spouse comes home from work, right? We retire the spouse and they're living the dream. Not really, because you're still nowhere present or you're just checked out whenever you're in the room. And I'll never forget, my husband's like, this is not worth it. It's not. But when we created this system and we implemented this for our team, because we did not want this to be our team's story, please learn from our story and knock it off so that the people that are saying yes to you can really dream the dream and know that it's real and
Mhm.
that we're not tricking them, right?
Mhm.
And so when we built this system, I mean, my husband literally would put his arms around me and tears coming down his face, and it's just thank yous. If we're at the ballpark or if we're at the beach, phone down, having fun because people are still on
Mhm.
board and doing the things. And we'll talk more about that. So thanks for just letting me share that for just a few minutes. The pain makes the sacrifice of the time that we did on that last slide worth it.
Mhm.
6 months, 6 months, 4 a.m.s, wait until all the babies go to sleep, not getting any sleep ourselves, sleep deprived because we're thinking about you. We don't want you to do what we did, period. We don't want that to ever happen to you and your families. So what we did was we wanted to be able to create a system that was automated and it was on
Mhm.
demand onboarding, on demand training so that somebody could self guide themselves to all the things that we had created without recreating them, without thinking that I created this incredible um, course step by step, and now you're questioning your tools. No, what you created is phenomenal. It's amazing. We just have got to bridge the gap. And we're going to show you how we did that through automation. Okay. The delivery is honestly the critical step. So, what we decided to do with the new way is we needed to be able to spoon feed them access to the tools and resources. Everything is action based. Okay. And they're guiding themselves through this process. Number two, we're going to give them their first goal and their roadmap to achieve it. We're going to pump them up. We're going to let them know that they've got money to make. There's in my first few weeks of my, whenever I was in my first few weeks of, I didn't even know there was a goal. It was just happening. I mean, bless God if that's, your luck. But, anyway, I digress. So step 3, we need to explain to them these foundations and the action steps to begin building the business. So like I mentioned before, building the list, inviting and following up and enrolling. They've just got to understand these principles, and we're not just going to explain it to them. We're going to put them in action so that there is this discovery of earning while they're learning how to build the business and how to repeat the basics. Number 4, we're going to deliver their social media best practices and what to post. Liz, I would love for you just to touch on this line really quick, please. Because when you launched your business for in our new the newest company back all those years ago, you had such a wild experience and you were inundated. Can you just talk about how critical just this one step is, and then I'll move on to number 5.
Yes. Well, the thing we don't want people doing is copying and pasting a generic post with a picture of the product or, just a very generic launch. What we want to do and what our chatbot does is it teaches people how to really tell story. And good marketing is good storytelling. And so the first post I ever made on social media was simply my story. I hadn't had success yet, but I was so hopeful and so driven, and I was dreaming so big. And sometimes it's not results, it's just belief that will attract your people to you. And so that first post got hundreds of leads, built my team um, just almost overnight, raising their hands, commenting, tell me more. What is this? What are you talking about? And so the system we've built really teaches people how to make a post like that, how to launch with social media in a way that's compelling, that's genuine, that's real. We teach them how to optimize their social media. If someone has a picture of their cat or a flower or something as their profile picture, that to go. We teach them how to adjust their profile settings so that their posts are actually getting seen with a public view. all those things, and making sure that what they post isn't something they're going to be embarrassed about down the road, that it's a reflection of who they are and why they said yes. We're helping them really get clear on, what do you want? Why did you say yes to this business? And how can you attract the people who have similar dreams and goals to run with you? And so we've had great success on our team. Our clients that have used this system have had great success with their teams that have launched and relaunched, just simply based on this number 4, social media best practices. How do you launch the right way with social media and not look like a spammy dork? Am I allowed
Yep.
to say dork? Okay. And the 5th thing.
Definitely. So, number 5, we need that launch strategy, you guys, and we need to be able to spoon feed them this step, because this is where it can become very overwhelming. All the other things, they're like all of the pre-work into actually doing the real thing, where you have to get in front of people. You need to be able to talk. You need to be able to fill a room, whether that's virtual or in person. And so we're giving them the step-by-step plan on how to launch. And even better, on the inside, we talk about how to do that with the help of your business partner. We teach you how to do this inside of this system.
Mm. And just imagine for a second what a difference it would make in your business, in your downline, if everyone actually launched. Just that one tweak. If the mystery and overwhelm and intangibleness of having a way, and there was a clear path and clear steps, and people actually felt like, I can do this, and then they did it, what would it look like if every person who joined you launched their business? Just launched. Got those first few wins, got those first few customers, a team member or two. They launched and then it worked. Imagine what a difference that would make. So we want to tell you a little bit about one of our clients and share her success story. She created a chatbot with us. She named her chatbot Ginger. She's so cute. You can see she's got like strawberry blonde hair. And Tiffany, tell us about, our client's name was Heidi, what Heidi experienced when she not just launched, but also relaunched her team using our chatbot system.
Yeah, I love that you literally just teed us up for how somebody is launching. Whenever Heidi, what she was so pumped up, and whenever she launched this to her team, she was like, I got to see if this is going to work. Like, she made the investment and she's like, but I need to know if this is going to work. And lo and behold, her girls took action and they started going through Ginger, and they're talking with Ginger and they're doing exactly what she says to do. And this is the type of feedback that she's getting. Not only are they having the wins with lead generation and making sales, she's also getting the feedback like, this is so low key and super fun. I'm geeking out over here. LOL. How cool is this? There's just this experience that's happening, engaging with a chatbot onboarding system like this, that is not just automation, but your expertise in psychology and hospitality. And so, one of the things that Brenda said is, yay, we're so excited for this test. One girl is just finishing up day 2. She's tagged 6 people in new leads and this sizzle video from her first post. And she's so excited to be here and seeing success already. And one of the other ones was Ginger makes it easy to learn online systems. So just do what Wendy says is just do whatever Ginger says. Trust the process. What she tells you seems to be just right, and it worked. Boom.
It's
How
so
fun is
good.
that?
It's so fun. It makes me so happy. There's like nothing better than seeing our team win and then seeing our clients and then our clients' teams win. It literally fills our cups to like overflowing. This is the best part, the best part. Making network marketing fun again. Maybe
Yeah.
that should be our tagline. We're making network marketing fun again. So let's talk about the cost of onboarding without a system. We've talked about this a little bit to really paint the picture of what it feels like for the new person, as well as what it feels like for you as the leader when you don't have the system. It feels like you're feels like you're falling downstairs. It feels like the new person who comes in without a clear path, they feel alone, they feel lost, they feel uninformed. If they're uninformed, then that means they're inactive. They they have a lot of questions. It depends on their personality. Some people will bug the heck out of you and ask you all the questions. Some people, and you would almost prefer that. Some people don't want to bother you. They don't want to bug you. They feel like they're going to be a burden. And so they're just silent. They have the questions, but they don't know where to go. And so they just sit with the questions and then they disappear. Ultimately, the new person feels frustrated. They're not winning. And so they just stop. They just kind of fall away. Maybe they get distracted and find another thing they want to try. They just, they start to believe the lie that this industry does not work for me. It didn't work for me. It worked for her. It can't work for me. And that's just not true. We know that people, you hear the mentors and the gurus say it all the time. Network marketing will work if you give it the time to work. If you work it, it will work. Well, I think that in some ways is a cop out for the leader to just be like, oh, it'll work if you work it. Most of us come into this industry with very little entrepreneurial experience, and so we don't know what to do. We don't know how to get started. We need someone to hold our hand. But to the leader, that feels very overwhelming, especially when you get into growth mode. You can't hold everyone's hand and still be a mom and a wife in a way that is worthy and deserving of what your family should have from you. You cannot do both well. And so how do you create that hand-holding experience? How do you let someone feel the connection of I'm getting support, but it not depend on the leader? And so when the leader doesn't have a system, Tiffany, you've been through this. How did you feel as we're, hundreds and hundreds of people joining our team and they're all coming to you? How did you feel? How did you feel when you're on your phone and your husband's like, can you please put it down? Your kids are like, Mommy, can you please take a break?
Mm-hmm.
But you've got people waiting on you. You know that your inbox is blowing up, messages are getting buried, people have questions, and you know they're waiting on you for answers so they can have the success that you promised them. How does that feel?
There's an inner turmoil and you feel like you're in crisis mode. For me, I'm going to take this one step further. It's not just what I felt mentally. My health began to break down. My health started to go even array. And then my husband was like, you're literally not feeling good because you're so incredibly overwhelmed. And so when your inbox is filling up, especially in this business, you feel like, especially with my cell phone, like it's just 1 second. I gotta be quick. I'll answer this question quickly. And then you're creating a lack of resourcefulness for the new person or even the seasoned person. They just expect that you're going to answer their questions. And so now you don't want to let your teams down, but the other side of that is you're letting your family down. And now you're feeling stressed. You're feeling terribly overwhelmed because if you spend time with your family for 2 hours watching a movie or going to a ball game or taking them to a theme park or something like that, now you're backlogged on all of the questions. And then what's happening? In your mind, you're thinking, they think that I'm not a good leader because I'm not showing up for them. I'm not showing up for them right now. That's holding them back from making a sale. What if they have an event that they have to go to and now you're trying to work your schedules? It gets wackadoodle. And so there's just the inadequacy that you feel as a leader. And so to clean all of that up and to be able to breathe again, there's nothing more rewarding than that. So, yeah.
Yeah. So this is how it feels. It feels like a tug of war. You've got your kids wanting your time. You've got your team wanting your time. There's resentment building. There's concern. I know my parents have said many times, Tiffany, yours have too, you work too much. You're gonna, collapse. Every time I see you, you're on your phone. Your laptop's with you all the time. You're always popping into a meeting. You're always leaving these voice clips to who are you talking to all the time? Why are you always on your phone? And it's not necessarily out of like a nagging place of, it's genuine concern. So it's truly exhausting. It's it's hard, hard, hard. And so we want you guys to just start to imagine with us what it would feel like to have a set it and forget it system. What are the benefits of having a system that you create, you customize, you set it up, and then it truly is working on autopilot on your behalf? A set it and forget it system like the one we've created with Chatbot empowers the new recruit to instantly take action. Okay, they're not waiting on you. They're instantly taking action. They can independently learn and practice. Again, you're building the skills that they need to actually sustain a business without depending on you or any other leader or anyone else. They're learning to be independent and they're practicing the skills. Imagine them, hey, do this. They take action. Great job. Let's do this now. They're learning and they're practicing on autopilot. You as the leader can focus on relationship and personal development. You're not leaving them and assigning them to this chat bot and saying, see ya. But now you can actually, when you do have conversation, it's intentional. Hey, how's it going? How are the kids? How's your husband? You're actually building authentic relationship with the people that said yes to you in business. And that feels really, really good. You're not talking about things that they can find through this automated system. The nuts and bolts don't have to be the topic of conversation anymore. So the leader is freeing up hours of time, and now you're able to spend it with your family. Now you're able to invest in skills and expand your own personal business. You don't have to choose between, oh, should I try to get a few new customers this week or should I answer questions in my downline? You have the capacity to expand and actually do the thing you're teaching your team to do, which feels really great as well. And so when we created the system, we knew it had to be a few things. It had to be engaging. It had to be fun. If you guys didn't know this, you cannot force your team to do anything. They have to want to do it. So with what we do know about psychology, how do we make something engaging and fun to where people are going to want to be a part of it? They're not going to want to miss out on the experience of engaging with this system. We knew that it had to provide a quick start within those first 48 hours. It had to be fast. It had to be simple. It had to be duplicatable and feel personal. It had to blend automation and hospitality. And so when we say simple and duplicatable, we mean instead of sending someone an onboarding guide that feels like a manual. I mean, Tiffany's asking for the manual. Nobody really else wants the manual. She's like the 0.5% of someone who wants to read a manual. Most people just want, what are the few things I have to do? And anything beyond a couple steps is going to completely overwhelm them. This system is initiated with the simple click of a button that will take someone into a conversation in Messenger with your bot. This is our team's bot. Her name is Alice. And imagine with us for a second, just a world. Imagine a world where your new team members are onboarded properly and your chatbot is doing all the work. You get to name her whatever you want or him. You can make them look like however you want to and wear whatever you want them to. This will be your own personalized system and chatbot. But imagine what it would feel like to gift your team an on-demand onboarding system so that all these 5 things that we talked about that are crucial to someone doing in their onboarding process are all right at their fingertips. And this is what it looks like going through the chatbot. They're engaging, they're pushing buttons. You can see that there are emojis and there's color, and it feels proof of that is here are a few screenshots that we got from our team when we launched Alice. Yes, Alice is a game changer. I literally love her so much. Oh my goodness, Alice is going to be so beneficial. I'm so excited about this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can we just make a shirt that has her face on it because she's going to be all of our new BFFs? I'm in tears for what you guys have done. You guys are a blessing. I'm so excited to learn and grow through this. I'm so excited about Alice. And so it truly was the most fun experience I think we've had as leaders when we got to build up some of the excitement and launch Alice to our team. And she continues to be a recruiting tool. She continues to be something that our team shares. Hey, if you don't think you can win in this industry, if you've tried network marketing in the past that hasn't worked for you, it wasn't your fault. You just didn't have Alice. join us and you'll get a system that guarantees your success because she's going to hold your hand. You're not going to have to feel like you're a burden. You're not going to have to wander around and look for the answers to your questions. Our chatbot, Alice, who's going to be your best friend, is going to make you feel so seen and so celebrated. And she's going to actually hold your hand through your onboarding process. And so this is a little bit of what the chatbot is delivering. Tiffany, explain like how Alice really serves as the bridge so that we can give everyone peace and knowing we're not asking you to scrap what you've already worked hard to create. How is Alice the bridge?
Yeah, I love this. And this is actually something that we created after we realized that we had this amazing system, launched it, and we're like, we need a landing place for absolutely everybody to come back to. Where is there going to be this centralized location for all of the corporate assets that you just pointed people to in the bot? Where are the team assets that you just pointed people to in your day 3 module, right? So we needed to have a place where all of your tools that you worked so hard to create had a place that they were plugged into and that they were accessible with one click. We need to be able to take all of the things that can feel overwhelming, like all of the different information, and we needed to put them in one centralized location so that they could go back to the information over and over again. Where did I see that? Where did I see how to follow up again? Oh, I can go back to my scripts bank. All of it is in one spot, and nobody is falling through the cracks themselves, nor is the information that you've worked so hard to create falling through the cracks either. And so I love that this is a part of the offer.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're going to talk about my most favorite part. Because as Elizabeth mentioned, yes, I am the girl that wants the manual. And obviously the manual now has been innovated and now it's inside of the actual system. My background is operations. And so I want to know if the thing that we are creating, is it going to actually like bring us tangible data with proof of concept that it is working? And you as the leader are going to be able to see that now, because on the back end, you're going to be able to take all of these things and all these activities, and you're going to be able to see, is it working? Your leaders, like, are they actually doing the thing? You as the leader now get to have the eyes on your entire downline, and you get to see who is taking action. The back end is going to show you, where did somebody get stuck? Who are my runners? Who is, going through this thing and who's making their launch post? And it gives you the opportunity to go and engage with them in your downline. Shout out. Could you imagine going through this bot and you're like, oh my goodness, who is Samantha? Samantha is absolutely crushing it. You go into your back office and you're like, man, she's 6 levels down. I'm going to go send her a message. This is giving you the back end information that you need to go and engage with your runners and celebrate them, right? It's showing you where people are stuck. Take all of the information, the feedback that your back end is giving you, and now go and create incredibly valuably, like resourceful training. This is going to give you all of the intel. Okay. You get to see where somebody's getting stuck. We get to go to the mindset stuff here. Whenever somebody's stuck and they're not taking action, we get to go to them now. We have a coaching tool. Hey, I see that you're stuck right here. Can you tell me what's going on right now? What's on your mind? And then you get to go to the root. You get to go to the heart. And that's where you develop your leadership skills. And you go beyond the basics of, well, this churn and burn. I need to got to get a new one. No, let's cultivate and develop the people that have already said yes, and use your back end in order to help you develop that skill in leadership.
So good. I didn't mean to change the slide yet. My finger just accidentally hit it. So
that's great.
I love that. Everything you said is so good and so true. Having eyes on who's taking action. It also helps when someone's saying, oh, I did Alice. I went through the system, and then they are asking questions that Alice answers, and you can actually kind of call them on their their little fib in a nice and loving way, like, hey, I know you said you did Alice, but it looks like you didn't progress past like the first part of day one. So re-engage with her. She'll help you. Check back with me when you get through. She's going to give you, because that's what duplicates. When someone becomes independent and can use the system and they see that it works, and then all they have to do is, we've even found that the people that are seeing how Alice holds their hand, now they're feeling totally freed up to go and recruit and tell people to join them, because they're like, I don't have to have all the answers. There's not that like internal holding back because they're afraid that they won't be a good leader yet. They know with confidence that my new person's going to be taken care of greatly because I am, and I'm just going through Alice. And so we want to introduce you guys to the Team Launch Accelerator. This is a 3-day chatbot onboarding system that we have created, and this is the shortcut. How many of you guys want a shortcut? You are totally free to go and build a chatbot all on your own. Use these 5 steps that we've told you that are crucial, and create your system from scratch. We're telling you right now that the software that we use is MiniChat. You guys can go sign up for MiniChat. The pro account costs $15 a month, and you can create it all by yourself if you want to. If you join us and let us give you the shortcut, here's what you're going to receive. You'll get a template, which is the 3-day complete onboarding system template, which it can be done in 3 days. It can be done in less. It really is self-paced for the new person. But this template will have everything that structurally is needed. All you're going to have to do is edit the graphics, edit some of the text to make it appropriate for your team and for your company. And the way we lead you through that customization process is super, super intuitive. So there's a members area portal that will give you screen share videos, step-by-step checklists, all those things. And then also inside the template itself, we have these little sticky notes that will guide you so that you don't miss a single step. We're also including bonuses. We're giving you a scripts bank that we've used with our team that is super helpful. It's in a Trello board. We know that we're kind of past the age of copy paste, send this message, but we advise our teams, like especially the people getting started, they don't know what to say. They don't even have like a grid for how to have a conversation of how to follow up, how to nurture. So we give them a scripts bank so that they can copy, paste, and tweak is what we tell them to do. So we're going to give you access to that scripts bank. We're also going to give you another MiniChat template that serves as a link in your bio. So some people are saying the link in bio is dead. We would disagree with that. The problem with the link in bio is just it's been done wrong. So imagine the link in your bio actually taking someone into a conversation with you inside your Instagram or Facebook Messenger. And the link in your bio is giving them options for how to engage with you. Do you want to shop my storefront so that you're selling your products? Do you want to learn more about partnering with me in business so you can tell them about your opportunity? Do you just have a question? So they have this little menu inside of this chatbot template, and you can customize that for however you like. And then you can actually see who's engaging with the link in your bio instead of it just being a link tree, or the menu actually leads them into your inbox so that you can also engage with them in real time if you want to. And then the third bonus, or the fourth bonus, the third one, Canva templates. So all the graphics that you're going to need inside your chatbot, we're giving you the templates for those. So you're not going to have to create any graphics from scratch. And then the fourth one is we're going to give you a launch presentation template. So when you launch this system to your team, which you're going to be so excited to do, we don't want you just to be left on your own how to present it. We're giving you a template for a Canva presentation so that when you're on Zoom, you can make this presentation so inspiring and so exciting, and get everyone really pumped up with you to release your bot to your team. This is our chatbot coach. When we first decided to create a chatbot for our team, we invested in this coach. Our coach's name was Nico. We actually did find him through the ClickFunnels and Russell Brunson community, and he's known as the Chatbot Ninja. And we started working with him. He said, I have never worked on a project like this. He usually would build chatbots for funnels, for lead generation, things like that. He had never built a system like what we created. And the first version of Alice was this huge monster 30-day version. And the first few clients that we worked with to create systems like that, he said, this is a $25,000 value, no joke. And it was. And people have paid us greatly to build those big custom bots. But in our mind and in our hearts, we're leaders like you who are just starting to get into momentum and who maybe don't have $25,000 to invest. And so we decided we wanted to create a 3-day launch accelerator that will help team members get launched, get into action, take advantage of those first 48 hours that are so critical. And so we are so excited to be able to offer to you today the Team Launch Accelerator for a fraction of the cost of $25,000. So Tiffany, do you want to just recap like what they're getting, what the value is, and what the investment that we're asking for?
So you guys, this offer is literally for one investment only of $997. Just imagine recovering this $997 within a matter of days or weeks, whenever you've got new people that are launching with great success. You've got new raving fans. They're sharing your system with the entire world, and your paycheck is going up.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be ridiculously amazing. So to recap what Liz said that you're going to get a 3-day Alice bot system mini chat template valued under $8,000. Okay. You're going to get limited time email support to Elizabeth and I directly. Our love language is to be able to coach you, just like we've shared in all the previous slides that you've seen. We want to be able to be in the trenches with you. And so you've got 30 days of access to us, and we will be able to come back with, Loom videos and things like that to be able to support you, making sure that your system is launched very strong and that you are super confident. You're also going to get lifetime access to this masterclass replay. And you're also going to have access to the membership portal at a $997 value. Every single thing that you need to know, no tripwires. You're not going to get stuck. It is a very, very detailed course. You can literally do this. We designed it so that, my 13-year-old would be able to build her own chatbot. She could create her own onboarding system. So you're going to have that capability. And then the Post-it notes, like Liz also shared about, inside of the template. So literally, you're not having to bounce back and forth from place to place to try to find, what am I actually supposed to do? Those instructions are going to be inside of the template itself, making it just that more easy and simple to fulfill and get this thing built. And that is valued at a $197 value. So all together, the total value of what you're getting for all these assets, plus all of the bonuses, which you can see those values in themselves, alone, the total value, this is a $10,485 value. And you guys are going to get this for one investment of $997. I'm just
So
wanting
good.
to scream from the rooftops because it is so ridiculously good.
It really is. We're so excited. So basically from this point, you have two options. Really simple. You can build it yourself. And again, this slide, it's really hard to see how tiny, but that's one day of the chatbot. Imagine having to go in, like we said, you can do this yourself, but imagine having to go in and learn this software and build all of those squiggly lines and text boxes and conditional logic. Imagine having to do all that yourself, figuring out what should come in what order. What should I say next? How do I create a button? How do I create it so that it says the person's name to them? Where do I make the bot say the person's name? All of that has been done. So you can try to figure it out, and you're welcome to. We would suggest you take the shortcut and let us help you. So see how happy that girl looks in the picture? She's free. She just comes in, edits the graphics, edits the text a little bit, and then truly this system could be launched within just a few short days. We say within a weekend. If you're really an action taker, it could be even less. Ultimately, you guys, we just want to give you the dream of time freedom. We want it to be a reality. We don't want this to be a lie. We want you guys to experience the joy of your business growing, of your teams growing, of everyone knowing, of you knowing that everyone has what they need to succeed, so that it truly, your hands are free, they're clean. No one's success is dependent on you, and you know that you've given them everything they need to succeed. So it's their responsibility whether they engage with the chatbot or not. It's not that they can't find the tools or the resources or that things are too clunky, or it's all been laid out. And so you can sleep really well at night knowing I've given them the best, the most innovative, the most advanced system to help them launch successfully. So if they don't, I'm free.
Yes.
No integrity crisis, no questioning, did I do everything I could to help my team? You'll know that you did. That is priceless. And Tiff, you want to tell them about just what we experienced a couple years ago when we were on the beach on that incentive trip and how that felt?
Yes. Okay. So, true life story, you guys. We know, and we've literally told you all of the pain. But the most incredible thing that we got to experience was when we launched our chatbot onboarding system, was right around the time of the incentive trip that we earned. And we had 25 of our leaders on that beach with us. And so you guys know, as experts in this industry, growing leaders in this industry, your company is always providing some type of incentive to help you win, right? But most of the time when you're on a getaway, you're trying to leverage that and get other people to be on the next one with you. And so you're trying to train and you're trying to, post pictures and all the things. And it was amazing. I looked over at Liz, like we're sitting on the beach, and I'm like, girl, do you see what's happening right now? And when I'm holding up my phone, it's cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. And we're watching all of our people literally go through our onboarding system while our butts are on the beach. They were incentivized on their own to do the work and train themselves. And we weren't answering all the questions, trying to fake being on a trip. We actually got to enjoy being on the trip. And that was the greatest reward. And having my husband sitting beside me, and he's like, hey, in the past, you've been on all these trips and you've been working the whole time. And I've been present with you, but for some selfies, now I actually get on a jet ski with you and we get to go play. Like, this is legit. I got to see my husband's belief go up whenever he saw the innovation, that people were still doing the work and we were actually enjoying the thing that we claimed that we wanted, was so powerful. And I want to just touch on this from the last slide with the let us help you. You can do it yourself, or let us help you. I just thought that it would be really important so that people could understand the back end. I think that our conversation script that we created for ours and for this one, there was like over 100 pages in the document, just in the conversation flow. Day number 1, 72 text boxes. All those are already pre-done for everybody. They don't have to touch them, except for make a tweak with your company name or make a tweak with your bonus amount, right? All of that is already done. I think that like total, there's like 300 boxes in there. I can't imagine recreating this thing from scratch. And so to be able to offer this and be able to bend tremendous time and give people the launching pad to run on, I would buy this offer. If it was available to me, would have never created it. I would have been like, please, for goodness sakes. So anyway, just gets me excited all over again. So just wanted to add that.
Yeah, girl, that's also good. And there truly is nothing more valuable than our time. It's the one asset that we'll never get back. And so making those memories, having the freedom to really enjoy the things that we're working hard to achieve is so, so important. So I know you guys are probably on the edge of your seats asking like, okay, how do we actually join you? How do we get the shortcut? You can click the link below or go directly to chatbotmasterclass.com/join. And for, again, a one-time only investment of $997, you will get access to everything we just shared with you. And we do have one other exciting bonus to share that I think you're going to be really excited about. We offer an affiliate opportunity to all of our clients. So if you have sideline sisters, if you have friends that are doing network marketing and have or with another company, every person you refer to Alice Bot Company, you can get a $100 referral commission for introducing the system to them. And so we've just mapped out if you have one friend who joins and buys a chatbot system for their team, you'll earn $100, $2,500, all the way, you can do the math. But it's just, we believe in multiple streams of income. We want to be generous and share the fruit of this with you, and we want to honor you and thank you for sharing this with the people who already know and trust you. And so we offer that affiliate commission as well. And then we wanted to just finish with sharing some frequently asked questions that might already be lingering in your mind, just to clear up anything that could potentially be standing in your way of giving an instant yes. And so let's just talk through these questions really quickly. These are the questions that many clients have had in the past when we've done live events and master classes and challenges. The first question, what size team does this make sense for? Is it worth it even if I have a small team? What would you say to that, Tiffany?
I would say absolutely. So just like I gave the example of like what I was looking for, your teams are looking for this too. In their day job, they are trained and they are equipped. And so they are expecting whenever they come in to do business with you that they're going to be trained and equipped. And so I would say that this investment is for somebody that's taking their business seriously. If you've got a team of 25 people and it's growing, it's for you. If you've got, 500 people in your downline, this is for you. 1,000 more, this is absolutely for you. Giving people the launch pad that they need to get started running. Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, how soon could I implement this for my team? If I invest in this, how soon could it be ready to launch?
With the system, the way that we have this set up in your membership portal and also the post-it notes in the template, if you were just to cut out your weekend and put head down and just stay focused, you could have this done in a quick turnaround time, 48 hours, I'd say 72 hours maximum, but you can also do this at your pace.
Awesome. And just to clarify, we don't mean 48 hours or 72 hours of straight work time. We mean you're doing your regular life, you're taking pockets of time to work on it. But if you're working just, a few hours a day, it could be done in a weekend. Can my downlines use this for their teams?
Absolutely. So this is literally a shareable resource, shareable link, or through the menu, and it's for your entire downline. The whole point is not to reinvent the wheel over and over again, and your downline's not going to have to pay for it either. They simply have access to what you've provided for them.
So good. Okay, what if I already have an onboarding program that I've created? Will I be able to merge that with this?
Yes, that is the beauty of this system. We want you to be able to take what we have created and you can spice it up a little bit, but then you can also take your system, you're plugging in your resources, your expertise. This is your voice, and you can customize this template however you see fit.
Awesome. Okay, we mentioned limited time email support. How long do we get support from Tiffany and Liz?
With this specific template, you have 30 days. We want to be able to get you implementing and moving on your investment. And so our live support is available for 30 days.
Okay. What if I'm not super techie? Are there any tech prerequisites?
None. As long as you are teachable, you don't have to have any experience. You just have to do the steps.
Okay. Is it possible for me to break anything?
Go ahead, Liz. You can answer this one.
Well, anything's possible, but we've made it as foolproof as we possibly could. And again, you'll have that 30-day email support that if you would accidentally disconnect a box from the next box or mess with the squiggly lines or things that we've intentionally set up for you to not have to learn, if something like that would, happen, we're here. Also, ManyChat has an amazing support desk. I can't say it's impossible, but it's very unlikely as long as you just follow the directions step by step and don't mess with the things that we've already set up. You should be totally good to go. And the last question, do I have to purchase any additional software or programs? There is only one other investment besides your 997 investment, and that is the ManyChat Pro account. So there is a free ManyChat version, but with the conditional logic and some of the more advanced features that we have included in this chatbot template, you will need the Pro account, which is only $15 a month, which is a fraction of what we've invested in other things. I think we've paid $297 a month for ClickFunnels. We've paid $197 for Kajabi. We've paid, Project Broadcast and Flowdesk and all those things. So it's only $15. So that's it for the questions. Again, join us now for only $997. Click the link below or go to chatbotmasterclass.com/join. We cannot wait to serve you. We cannot wait to have you on the inside. We cannot wait to see you launch this system to your teams, for you to experience the freedom, for them to experience the joy of actually winning and launching with excitement and fun. And we're so grateful for your time. Thanks for joining us for this masterclass, and we'll see you on the inside.